You're not welcome in the Pride Lands or the Outlands. You...
While Lion King 2 focuses on Simba and Kiara going head-to-head against Zira, it just doesn't feel complete. One lion, the most powerful of all in the Pride Lands, is noticeably missing from the war. Kion, the one blessed with the powerful roar of the elders, the leader of the Lion Guard, a power strong enough to alter history. Which brings us to why the Lion King 2 never shows him. Did he really just sit back and do nothing while his family fought to survive? Or did something else happen? What if Kion secretly fought Zira's army, and history forgot all about it? In today's video, we will discuss the possibility of a forgotten battle between Zira and Kion, a conflict that could change everything we thought we knew about the Lion King universe. The Pride Lands versus the Outlands. In the Lion King universe, the Pride Lands and the Outlands are two completely opposite worlds. One is all about harmony and abundance, while the other represents hardship and banishment. Despite both of them being lands of lions, their history and their rule have forged them into quite different territories. This divide is key to understanding the war that followed. The Pride Lands is a vast and lush kingdom led by King Simba, ruled by the Circle of Life. Its laws hold that all creatures, lions, antelopes, birds, and insects, live in harmony. It is a land of prosperity because its leaders value fairness, responsibility, and sustainability. Under Mufasa's rule, the Pride Lands thrived, and even under Scar's brief rule, the land didn't immediately start to wither. That happened only when he abandoned the Circle of Life by prioritizing hyenas over all other animals. However, soon enough, Simba took his throne and restored the peace, making sure that the Pride Lands would never again be a paradise lost. In order to keep the peace, he had to make some tough decisions, including banishing those who were loyal to Scar. The Outlands, on the other hand, are a barren wasteland. The cracked earth, limited vegetation, and scarce water sources make living on the land a challenge each day. Here, there is no circle life. It is a grim world, and only the strongest survive. It is where Zira and her followers lived when Simba exiled them due to their loyalty to Scar. Zira is an unwavering follower of Scar's philosophy and refuses to recognize Simba as a king. While the Pride Landers held balance and harmony in high regard, the Outlanders had power and revenge as their guiding philosophies. Zira raised her cubs, Nuka, Vitani, and Kovu, to despise Simba and plot revenge against him. She believed that Kovu was Scar's rightful successor and groomed him to eventually overthrow Simba. The Outlanders, resentful and enraged, viewed Simba as a cruel tyrant who robbed their chance for dominance. This ingrained animosity is what drove them to regain the rule of the Pride Lands. It was only a matter of time before the rivalry between the two lands would grow into something massive. To Simba, Scar's followers were a threat to the peace of the kingdom, while Zira believed that Simba was the enemy who had taken over their rightful home. Their differences eventually culminated in a war, with both sides battling for dominance. As Simba's pride battled to uphold the Circle of Life, Zira and her army pursued vengeance in Scar's honor. This fight wasn't merely over land. It was over legacy, ideology, and survival.
Till the Pride Lands end?
With all your friends.
Kion and Zira go to the Outlands. In Season 1, Episode 20 of the Lion Guard, Lion of the Outlands, Zira's army has been causing trouble for the hyenas in the Outlands, and a desperate Zira turns to Kion for help. Understanding the threat Zira represents, Zira, the friendly and courageous spotted hyena, seeks out Kion, hoping that he will help her battle the menace. Kion, as the leader of the Lion Guard, agrees to help, and the two make their way towards the Outlands. Once Kion and Zira reach the Outlands, they are met with two of Zira's children, Kovu and Nuka, who don't quite give them a warm welcome as Nuka attacks Zira and scolds her for returning to their land. Kion responds instantly, attacking Nuka and restraining him against the ground. Kovu immediately steps in, and Kion, sensing the animosity, asks if they are acquainted. Kion learns that the two are siblings, and that's when Nuka demands to be set free. However, Zira joins the fight, leveling the playing field. Kion asks why they're not in the Pride Lands, and Kovu and Nuka insinuate that they wouldn't be well received there. Kion tells him his father would accept them. This stuns the two lions, and Nuka questions who Kion's father is. Zira proudly answers that it is Simba, the ruler of the Pride Lands. This excites Kovu, who eagerly asks whether they could actually be accepted back home. Kion, while doubtful, reassures him that he couldn't think of a reason why not. Kovu then tells the two that they need to meet his mother and leads away. Kion and Zira meet for the first time. Kovu takes Kion and Zira to the watering hole where they meet his mother, Zira. When Kion first encounters Zira, she plays the part of a gracious host while pretending to be nice, also singing a song about how lions are the best animals. She implies that lions ought to dominate, but Kion corrects her, insisting that respect and compassion for every animal are, in fact, the values one must hold dear. Despite their differing viewpoints, Zira doesn't accept defeat and gradually starts to change the topic. Zira hints at her familiarity with the roar of the elders, something Kion is still learning to control. She manipulates Kion's curiosity about the roar, demonstrating its powers by having it transform a cloud into rain. Zira becomes avoidant when Kion asks how she knows about it, and insists that he talks to her alone. She questions Kion's loyalties, asking if he's with the lions or the hyenas. Kion, loyal to the Circle of Life, declares that he represents all the animals who honor it. Upon learning this, Zira mutters he takes after his father. Kion is in ambush when all of a sudden, other lionesses arrive in the cave. When he questions what's going on, Zira threatens him, saying that he is either with her or against her, and that if he is against her, he can never leave the Outlands. This prompts him to threaten to use the roar. That's when Zira tells him about a lion she knew who lost a roar because he used it against his fellow lions. Zira presents herself as an ally, using Kion's insecurities about the roar against him and attempting to convince him to turn her side by leveraging her link to Scar. Her words offer nothing but confusion to Kion and instill doubt about his chosen journey, all in hopes that he would join her against Simba for Pride Lands. Zira's trap for Kion. After Zira fails in her attempt to get Kion on her side and join her in toppling Simba, she sets a trap for him. When she starts talking about the roar and how Scar lost it by using it against his fellow lions, Kion frustratingly tells her that Scar was never the rightful king, which Zira takes very personally. In response, she directs her lionesses to attack, and while Kion attempts to defend himself, she soon orders them to stop. She gives him one last chance to join her, but when Kion refuses, she departs to gather her children, leaving Kion surrounded by her lionesses. Zira's plan is apparent. By overpowering Kion and imprisoning him, she believes she can shatter his spirit and convince him to rethink his allegiance to Simba. While Zira is gone to bring her children back, Kion tries to reason with the lionesses, who are all around him waiting to attack, and he says he is only there to share the watering hole with Zira. But the lionesses don't pay much heed to his justifications and ask him to save the grievances for Zira. Kion, who is now annoyed, attempts to make a run for it and manages to escape for a brief moment before the lionesses halt him, pinning him down to the ground. The lion guard arrives. Zira is informed by Zira that Kion has handed over the watering hole to the lions. Even though she doesn't believe Kion would do such a thing, dejected, she makes her way out of the Outlands. On her way out, she bumps into the rest of the lion guard, who finds out that Kion is in trouble. Meanwhile, Kion is surrounded by the lions and heavily outnumbered, putting him in a vulnerable position. As Zira attempts to intimidate Kion and tell her it's his last chance to join forces with her, Ono flies overhead, followed by the rest of the lion guard. This gives Kion a boost of confidence, while Zira's army is taken back. Bunga asks Kion to use his roar, but he refuses because Zira planted a doubt in his mind that he would lose it. Bunga reassures him that Scar lost his roar because he used it for evil. Kion then roars with all his might, sending Zira's army flying away into a new area and thus defeating Zira. How is this connected to Lion King 2? As we know, Seasons 1 and 2 of The Lion Guard take place during the time gap in Lion King 2, where Kiara is growing up. If we take this into consideration, there's a possibility that the confrontation that occurred between Zira and Kion in Lions of the Outlands was a forgotten battle that was not discussed in the movie, and maybe the fact that Zira was able to manipulate Kion and create a doubt in his mind made him a vulnerability during the battle between Simba and Zira. Moreover, another reason Kion's fight with Zira might have been erased from history could be Simba's intense desire to protect his daughter Kiara. The Lion King 2 shows Simba's possessive nature protecting Kiara when she goes beyond the Pride Lands. Simba most likely thought that exposing Kion to the outsiders might also put Kiara in danger by bringing unwanted attention to her. This demonstrates that even though Kion is shown to have many heroic qualities, and he's always the one to save the day, there is a possibility that he could have succumbed to the manipulation of the cunning Zira, and thus pushed Simba to make the decision to keep him out during Simba and Zira's clash. What do you think about this theory? Do you think Kion was not a part of the clash because he would be a vulnerability? Or is it something entirely different? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more such content.